Well, sweet. Hope that everybody has had an awesome day. It has been a jam-packed day for me, just prepping and making sure that I don't miss anything in this webinar. I want to make sure that everybody gets the most bang for their buck, even though it's free. So cool. All right. Well, let's get this party started. Let's talk. Some of you in here know who I am. Some of y'all are awesome Gutter Launch members. This is not a pitch for Gutter Launch, all right? That's not what this is about. This is everything sales, marketing to help you grow and expand your businesses and become, really the kings and queens of your trade in your market. That's our target for you. So who am I? Who is Colin DeHaan? I'm just that dude. I grew up knowing that I had to go to college, I had to get a degree, I had to get a good job that would pay me a decent salary, give me a good retirement, and have health insurance. And so that then I could retire sometime in my 60s, right? That's what I did. I grew up knowing that. I grew up a middle-class dude. My dad is a truck driver, a union truck driver. My mom cleans teeth. She's a dental hygienist. And that's what I thought I had to do. So I did it. I went to college. I went to community college for a year and a half. Dual enrolled in a university, did that. Well, I was pursuing secondary education to be a teacher because I just loved coaching. I was a good baseball player and basketball player, and that's what I wanted to coach. And so I said, the best way to do that is to be a teacher so that then I can coach. Went to school for 4 years, did that, and realized I don't want to teach. What am I doing? I got into sales, and that took me to where I'm at now. I became an entrepreneur 8.5 years ago. I was working at a construction supply store and just got kind of sick of not having anybody that I could refer for gutters. I mean, there was people, but not like high quality. And I was like, shoot, if I just answer my phone and show up, I'm gonna make more money than I am right now. And that's what I did. My first year, we cleared 6 figures. I went from making 40, 45 grand a year selling the product to over 6 figures my first year doing gutters. And I was just a cowboy shooting from the hip. And we've added on everything since then. So we started just just gutters. We added siding, we added garage doors, we added windows, we added roofing, and that's it. So we did that. I sold the garage door division off. I closed the siding division because it wasn't making sense. I sold the window division off. And now we just do gutters and roofing. I have since also partnered and opened up a pole barn building business, an excavation business, and then we launched another gutter only location down in North Carolina. So home services is what I know, it's what I love, it's just my passion and something that I've learned and I've gotten decent at, I guess you could say. But I don't want to like trick you guys and make you think that, oh, like you've just always known this stuff and that's why you're good at it or whatever. Like I royally sucked at first. My first job, it took me today it would take me about 25 minutes to do if I was still on the truck and hanging gutter. It took me and one helper 8.5 hours to hang our first gutter. All right, y'all, 8.5 hours to do what modern day my technicians get done in about 25 minutes. So I had no idea what the heck I was doing. My first fire, I hired my best friend. Who else has hired their best friend? Or one of their good friends or a church member or something like that. And who else has had it go like, who else has had their hire just go completely sideways? Like their friend hire, and you're like, oh man, what did I do? This dude and I, my first year, I told you guys, I was a cowboy shooting from the hip. We would work from like 7 a.m. till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, hit the bar for lunch and a beer, go home, have another beer on my porch, and then, all right, man, see you tomorrow. And that was our day. Like every single day, we'd go to the same bar, get the same food. Like that was our life, and it was wild. It was absolutely wild. But we were really good friends, and we became best friends through that. And then I started learning about this whole business thing, and that I didn't really have a business. I was self-employed. I owned an LLC, I made more money than if I was working for somebody else doing the same thing, but I didn't really have a business. If I fell off a ladder and broke my neck, we don't make any money. It goes nowhere. And so I started like trying to figure all this crap out, and through that completely ruined that friendship. We tried different pay scales and all this stuff, and long story short, it ended with him calling me a greedy bastard, and still won't talk to me to this day, 7 years later. So I'll literally run into him in the grocery store. I live in a really small town. Run into him, and he will turn around and walk the other way as fast as he can. Will not acknowledge me. And I've sent him text. I've done all that stuff. All right. So I've royally messed up. Moral of that story is I sucked, and I did not I had to learn how to do this, and I had to choose to get good at home services, just like you would have to choose to be a good spouse, or you'd have to choose to be a good parent. You have to choose these things, and you can choose to be good at building a business. All right. So I just committed to learning what business was. I consumed everything. I listened to a bunch of podcasts. Everything that I could do. I'd find an event. I'd go to an event. I hired a coach. I did all of those things that were supposed to make me better, and they did. I'm not taking that away. It did do it, but what really got me there was when I hired the right coach with the right framework to get me where I was going. And his name is Josh Latimer. Many of you know Josh. And ironically, he happened to live in the same town as me. Crazy God story, but that's besides the point. I wasn't born with this ability to run businesses, and I still mess up every single day. I mean, one of my business partners is pissed at me today, and we'll squash it tomorrow. All right. It's just the way it goes. You can say something the wrong way in a text and it gets misconstrued, and it can happen like that. I still don't have it all figured out. We're learning every single day. So what really set me off was when Josh told me, Colin, you don't have to rewrite the whole script. Just copy what other people are doing in your industry and do it. People who are already where you want to be, just copy them. And I was like, holy crap, you're right. And so that's what I started doing. I just started copying people who have already done what I wanted to do. And fast forward, it took me about another year to get fully off the truck, and then another year to get off the sales, and it went. But I would say it took me from the time I started to the time that I was fully automated about 6 years. All right, 6 years to where I could work 2 hours a week on that business. And that's kind of where I'm at today. I commit to about 2 hours a week working on my home service, my roofing and gutter business. My barn and my excavation businesses, a little bit different setup there. I'm more of a silent partner where I just mentor the owners. So it's not really fair to be like, oh, I've got an automated business with those two businesses that are a year old. So that's a little bit about me. I wasn't just born with this. I had to choose to get good at it. And what I've learned through all of this, through building these businesses, through having employees and building general managers and building sales managers and building ops managers and all of that, I've found this passion of building leaders. And that's what has kind of spawned this whole online thing that I'm doing, this gutter launch and all that. That's what has really been my driving force behind it. And we've got a couple gutter launch members in this group, and they can attest that I haven't been the greatest at that. I've been focused on X's and O's of their gutter businesses, and here recently I kind of refocused and said, hey, we're gonna build you guys into leaders of businesses rather than gutter guys. All right, so continuing that education, always trying to level myself up, and that's kind of a brief synopsis of who I am, and that's what Gutter Launch is designed to build, and that's what Home Service Giants is designed to build. Just build leaders. That's all we're after. I don't believe that I can change the world. but I do believe that the ripple effect can radically change this world. And if I can infect George with a dose of leadership, and if I can infect Jordan and Corbin and Daniel, if I can infect those guys with a dose of leadership that is more than they ever comprehended in their life, and that trickles down to their families and their employees and so on. All right. So that's my mission in life. I say it every morning when I wake up. My why is to help all people become great leaders by crushing limiting beliefs placed on them by themselves, their friends, their family, their bosses, their pastors, and all other doubters. And most of the time, people don't recognize the limiting beliefs that they've put on themselves, and I'm here to help people do that. So it's really, really hard. Who knows that when you see more potential in someone than they see in themselves, it's really, really freaking hard to like let that go and not like force your expectations on them. That's one of my, I guess, biggest heartaches in life. We took in a fella. He was 37 years old. He had done some work for me on one of my real estate projects, and got picked up, went to jail, went to rehab, and was writing me notes while I was in rehab. And I picked him up from rehab and I put him in actually on the other side of this wall. And this is a basement office. He was in a bedroom on the other side of this wall, and we put him in there. And because I saw so much potential in him that he didn't see in himself, and we tried and we fought like hell for 8 months to get him to see that potential. He was a part of our family, ate dinners with us every night, was working on a ranch, was getting paid to work on a ranch, gave him a truck, like did so many things to show him like you are worthy. And he just couldn't see that himself. And it's like the biggest heartache of my life. And maybe not that specific situation, but having people not see their own potential is one of the biggest heartaches in my life, because I believe that everybody is destined to be a leader. And in some capacity, everybody is destined to be a leader. And I say all that to say nothing really, really good, nothing worth doing comes easily. It takes a lot of intentional effort, and you have to work really, really freaking hard at it. I hate being behind a computer and desk. Daniel can attest that I despise Zoom calls. They are like the bane of my existence, and that's why I said it's really out of my comfort zone to be doing this right now, because I just hate Zoom. I hate being on Zoom calls. I'll go and hang out with you at a coffee shop all day long. Or, I've met clients at McDonald's and just drank coffee with them, right? I don't eat McDonald's, but I drink their coffee. And, I will do that in face-to-face all day long. We have Gutter Secret Live events, and those are some of my favorite events because it's just we only allow 10 people at it, and it's such an intimate space, but I'm fully drained after 2 days of that, but it's one of the most incredible experiences because there's just so much back and forth, and I feel like at the end of that, I gained 10 new best friends. I know them so well, and they know me so well. So I hate sitting behind a computer and a desk, but I know that the only way to reach more people is be doing that, right? Be doing things like this. That's how we can build more leaders and help people overcome their own limiting beliefs. All right. My reset days, like I'll take days off just to work on my house and just be swinging the hammer, doing the thing. I'm good at it, and that's my comfort zone. That's where I can just I'll leave my phone in my office and I'll just go and work and bang on a hammer or hop in my tractor, hop in my skid steer and do the thing. It's just like, that's what I'm good at, and that's how I reset. And that's important that you have reset days. I want to encourage all of you to find what that reset is. Don't do what everybody else does. Just because going and sitting on the beach and drinking margaritas might be somebody else's thing does not mean it's yours. That would drive me knucking futz, all right? Like, I could not do that. I could not just go and sit on a beach. But I'll go hang from 40 foot in the air on walking a 12-inch plank and hang siding on my house or whatever. Like, that is what gets me back where I need to be. And so that's a little bit about me. And I want to not talk about me the whole time. All right. I know a lot of you in here don't know me, and I just wanted to kind of give you a brief synopsis of who I am, what I stand for, what's important to me. So let's talk about why you all are here now, and that is to increase your sales and your marketing in your current business. And all of you have a business, right? Anybody that doesn't have a business, say, I don't have a business in the chat. I think most of you have businesses. I've watched like the emails coming in. Doesn't look like anybody has said they don't have a business yet. So perfect. You've got a business, and we need to increase the sales, and we need to increase the marketing. You probably saw our ad that says 3x your leads and 2x your average ticket. Who wants to 2x your average ticket? I've got some gutter launch guys in here already. So getting you to 2x your average ticket, like you guys are already doing the things, but 2x your average ticket. How about get 3 times the leads? What if you could turn every 1 lead you get into 3 leads? What if you could do that? What if we could show you how we do that and what that looks like? That's what we do every single day in my businesses. All right, and we're gonna get into all of that. I'll make sure I stay on here. What I want to make sure is that when we're done here, you guys are walking away with the tools that you need. This is completely free. All right, this is completely free, but I want this to be one of the most high value webinars that you guys have ever been on, and that you walk away with at least 5 things that you can implement that are radically going to change your business. So that's what we're after today. All right, so what we've done, we rolled out Gutter Launch just over 12 months ago. Now, we did some beta testing before that with a couple people, but we rolled it out 12 months ago. And so in that 12 months, we had committed to, we are going to figure out what our market's biggest need is. And so in that 12 months, we interviewed over 2,000 different people who either had an existing gutter business or wanted to start one. All right, 2,000 business owners. And what we've discovered from all of them is they all struggled from one of 3 problems. They need more leads, they need to sell better, or they need to hire better. Can everybody agree with that? Like that is one of those 3 things is your biggest problem in your business right now. You need more leads, you need more sales, you need to hire more. All right, or hire better. And so what we'd get in those 2,000 people was, we'd go through this whole rigmarole and tell them how Gutter Launch could help them and this, that, and the other thing. And we get to the end, and they're just like, Colin or Daniel, everything you're saying is great, but I don't need that. I just need help in marketing. I just need help in sales. And I would gladly pay, half of what Gutter Launch is for that. And we're like, okay. Like that doesn't really work with how Gutter Launch is kind of set up. It all kind of plays off of each other. So we can't do that right now, but we just started taking notes. And we discovered that everybody needs sales and marketing. Like everybody needs help with that. And so that's what we want to do. We want to provide a solution for that. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about how you can 3x your leads and how you can 2x your average job. So I want you guys to put this in the chat. How many different marketing levers are you guys pulling every day in your business right now? Everybody put it in the chat. How many different marketing levers? Now, a lever can be Facebook ads or Google ads or yard signs or every door direct mail or door knocking or phone calls. Like how many different marketing levers are we pulling every single day? Daniel, can you keep track of that? Because it's really hard for me to see. and I need a drink, but what is our average on this?
We got 0, 5 to 7, 3, 4 to 5, 5, 2, 5 to 6, 4 to 5, but not every day. 4.
4. So really like 3 to 5.
Yeah, 3 to 5 is the average.
Okay, 3 to 5 is the average, and 3 to 5 is also, Daniel, the average that people would tell us on these calls as well. Um, and of those 3 to 5, you guys tell me if I'm wrong on this. We have Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, and like Google LSA or Google My Business or my Google Business Profile is what they call it now. Um, and what other normal ones do we run into, Daniel? That's pretty much those four.
Yeah, and then we get a lot of people that say, "Oh, I've just been doing referrals."
And referrals, word of mouth, right? Yep.
And then me as the marketer, I die inside. I'm like, for 20 years, you've only been doing referrals, and they're like super proud. They're like, yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So those are like the main ones. What if I told you that every day in not in all my businesses, but in my main business, in my roofing and gutter business, we do 25 different marketing levers. What would it do to your business if you took that 3 to 5 leads and increased it to 25? Like real world, like what would that do for you guys' business? Drop it in the comments. Like, would it bankrupt you? Like, would it would you not be able to keep up with the leads? Would it overwhelm, I guess? Like, what would it do? What are some answers, Daniel?
Dory asked 25 every day. No, not every day, just 25, some over.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Pretty much every day. Like,
Rod said there's no way he would be able to handle the lead flow. Jordan says it would be a blessing.
it'd be a blessing. That's right. There we go. I love that. Okay. So most of you are probably thinking 25 leads, like that's got to cost a bunch of money. And most people think that. They think marketing just costs money. And so marketing is done in really two different ways. You either spend money or, oof, that's a nice O, or you spend time. Okay? So every marketing lever that we pull of those 25, it either costs us money or it costs us time. Sometimes it costs both. And you're like, well, what the heck, Colin? Why does it cost both? Well, if you think about like Google or Facebook ads, we don't do those in-house. We hire a professional for that. I think I saw George on here. He's a professional at, yeah, there you are, George. He's a professional at specifically gutter Facebook and Google ads, all right? So we would be paying him to do that, but that wouldn't cost us any time. Maybe, an hour a month to review it with George, but that's it, right? For the most part, he handles all that. We just got to give him money. Now, if it's going to cost us time and money, what would that look like? Well, there's this really cool program out there called SendJim. Anybody familiar with SendJim? SendJim you have to go on there and build out your postcard, and you can send it out to, one client, or you can send it out to 100 clients around that one address. Like, there's some cool things that you can do, but that takes some time and some money. So you get what I'm saying. There could be a mix of both. Now, what about time-only ones? These are completely free, right? They cost $0 if it just takes time. One of my favorite favorite ways to get leads is by calling other business owners. Now, this sounds so ridiculous, I know it, but I will literally call a random business. You could call it anything. One of my favorite examples I like to give is the time I called the flower shop. I called up a flower shop, and I looked up on Reference USA or whatever who owns it. I called it up, and I was like, hey, is Colton in? And they're like, yeah, can I ask who's calling? Yeah, this is Colin with Superior Exteriors. Okay. Colton gets on, and I'm like, hey, Colton, this is really weird, I know. I own a local gutter company called Superior Exteriors, but we run into customers all the time that when they finally get gutters on their house, they're ready to plant flowers and all this stuff in their landscaping because not having gutters was just ruining it before. And is that something you guys specialize in? Like, do you sell whatever they're called, flowers that can be planted, or do you just sell ones like if I get them for my wife for Mother's Day or something like that? He's like, oh no no no, like we can. I mean, that's like what we specialize in, but we can absolutely sell them flowers that are ready to be planted. I'm like, oh okay, so like, is it good for me to send people your way, or should I send them to like a greenhouse type thing? He goes, no man, send them my way. Like we can build out their whole landscaping, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Like I'm gonna start sending a lot of people your way then. And he's like, oh, okay, awesome, thanks, man. Like what'd you say your name was, and what do you do? And I was like, oh yeah, my name is Colin, and I own Superior Exteriors. We do seamless gutters in town. He's like, oh, you do gutters? My mom needs gutters. Could you get her a price? Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, what's her address? What's her name? And can you call her and tell her, like, I'll be calling and set up a time to go meet her? Yeah, absolutely. Boom, I got a lead out of it. Just like that. All right? It could be that simple. And that happens, I'm not kidding. When I was doing this, building my business, that would happen probably 6 out of 10 of those phone calls. Now, 6 out of 10 of those conversations, all right? Don't get me wrong. There's times when they're like, no, you can't talk to the owner, right? Or whatever. But if I got to talk to that person, 6 out of 10 times, it would equal at least one lead out of them. So time. That takes a lot of time, though. That could be a 10, 20, 15-minute call versus just spending, $150 on Google or Facebook or whatever that is. And that, how much you spend for those leads also varies on the service. Google ain't going to give you a roofing lead for $100. It just ain't going to happen. They know you make too much money to give a $100 lead away, right? They're going to charge you $400 or $500 for that lead. Now, if you're gutter cleaning, you might see a Google lead for $30, $40 because they know you're making or you're selling that job for $200 to $500 versus the roof being $20,000 to $50,000. All right. So we have this money or time gap. All right. So there's a lot of ways that we can market for free. We have 12 different levers that we pull that just cost time. Just time. $0. Then we have 13 paid levers that we're pulling almost every single day. All right. There are some like, an every door direct mailer. I'm not going to do an every door direct mailer every single day. All right. But we're pulling 13 other levers regularly. All right.
The big thing here is we routinely through our interviews we just talk to too many home service professionals where they have big goals. They want to hit that million plus, or maybe they're already at the million, they want to hit the 2 million plus, but they're only pulling 3 or 4 levers. It's not feasible to hit the numbers if you are not pulling enough levers. And the trick is finding those levers, testing them fast enough, because maybe there's 5 or 6 that you don't want to do. For example, the free ones, and you're calling business owners all the time. Oh, that takes time, and maybe you're just going to do it in the short term or when you have cash flow issues. But once you dial in like your 7, 8, 9, 10 favorites, then it gets really fun because it's money in, money out, and you're growing in
A lot of money in, a lot less money out. All right, let's clarify that.
yeah. Return on investment, big return on
That's
investment.
right. Yeah. So the moral of that story is there's a lot of things that we can be doing in our businesses that we're not doing to get that result that we're after. All right. Everybody in here, for the most part, it was 3 to 5 lead levers that they were pulling every single day, and that's it. 3 to 5. Now, if we increase that, if we 5x that, I don't know what law that is, but we should 5x the amount of leads that we have, right? So, Daniel, I'm going to let you take over for this next part because this is kind of your specialty. So Daniel's going to share his screen here now, and you guys can pin that while I chug some water and hang out.
So that was just a quick recap. Problem number 1, you're not pulling as many levers as you could be pulling. You haven't tested enough. And part of the reason why, just so we all are clear, part of the reason why we don't pull certain levers is because we just don't have people that we know personally that have pulled those levers, or maybe we haven't even heard of those levers and we don't know how effective they are. Quick side story before I jump into the a really cool thing that I have to share with you. So way back in the day, I started helping this dentist, and she and one day I'm just like, so how are the Google ads going? And she's like, Google ads? I've never done the Google ads. Long story short, she turns on the Google ads and she starts doubling, like overnight doubling her business. Not like over the next weeks, like overnight her business doubles. And she had been in business 15 years already, and then boom, just like that. And then for years, she just talks me up as this genius. And she's like, Daniel's so smart. And like, yeah, I doubled my business. The only thing I did was say, look, if you're a dentist and you turn on the Google ads, you're going to get a lot more business. And she just didn't know what she didn't know. And that's the beauty behind working with so many different home service professionals, is we have this pool of knowledge and pool of stories about how well these different marketing levers have worked. And we have a lot of levers we want you to test and pull that can be absolute grand slams inside of your business. Now, for this next part, we're going to dive into how we can double prices. And it's not what you think. So I'm going to share a slide, and let's see here. Please let me know in the chat if you can see my slides. And I'm going to hit play. Just let me know real quick in the chat. Does everybody see my slides without any issues? Yes, yes, yes. I'm seeing thumbs up. Great. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. So, this graph, we're going to show 9 squares, okay? And what these 9 squares represent is the possibilities of how you're perceived in the market and what you're charging. And every single one of you are going to fit inside of one of these 9 squares. Once you get it, you'll be able to immediately recognize which square you're inside of. And you will be able to understand how you can move to the more lucrative squares by positioning yourself better in the marketplace. And this is how we can effectively start to double our prices. All right. But first, we really got to understand the graph so that you can tell us which square you're inside of. So this is how the quadrants work. First of all, there is, as you can see on the x-axis, the what you decide to charge axis, okay? You get to pick inside of your business. This is undeniable. You get to set your own prices. Unless your market is regulated, there you can charge whatever you want. For that roof, you can charge $300,000. Now, it might be hard to get people to pay that $300,000 price tag if their home's only worth $300,000, but you can charge it. You can try to get somebody to pay the $300,000. The whole point of this is you get to pick your price. You get to pick if you are generally one of the lowest prices in your market. You get to pick if you're in the middle of the road in your area, or you get to pick if you are one of the highest prices in your area. Okay, so that's the x-axis explained. Go ahead and mentally take note and say, oh, I'm average, or oh, I'm one of the lowest, or I'm one of the highest already. Just mental note, because we have the y-axis that we need to talk about as well. All right. The y-axis, as you can see here, you don't get to pick this one. This y-axis shows us the perception of value that your business provides. It's the perception from your dream customers of how much your business is worth. And they, depending on how they see your business, view you as a business that provides a low amount of value, a middle amount of value, or a high amount of value. Okay. So go ahead now and take a mental note. Am I perceived as a low value business? This delves into branding a little bit. Okay. My brand isn't as strong as it should be. I'm not, maybe me and my team aren't as professional as we could be. So mental note, are you low value, mid value? This is perception from your customers, or are you perceived as the high value, the superior business in your area? Okay. All right. And now we get to combine the two and understand what square we're inside of. So this is where I want to see your participation. We want some honesty here because this is a very important conversation to have. And once we get this, then we're able to move what square we're inside of. So out of these 9 squares, which one are you? Are you low value, low price? Are you high value, high price? Are you mid value, average price? So remember, one is perception of value and one is how much you're actually charging. Okay. So go ahead and put in the chat for us based off of where you feel that your dream customers value you, and then based off of how much you charge, where are you at? And let me Colin, I'm having trouble seeing the chat here.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
really
there we
hard to
go.
see. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's like my my cursor disappeared. Can you read those off for me then?
Yeah, we've got a lot of high value, high price, high value, average price, a couple low value, average price, mid average. Let's see, high value, high price, mid av. Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. Let me hit the escape button because, oh, okay, there we go. Now I
Is it
can.
working for you?
A little bit. It's just like my cursor like disappeared. I think it's because I'm sharing my screen and then I'm trying to look at the chat and then I'm in control of the slides all at the same time. So anyway, all right, perfect. All right. So now, based off of where you said that you're at, we're gonna get real because you're either in a non-desirable location on this graph, and we want to try to help you move, or you're in a great spot, and maybe we just need to turn on the marketing even more and hire the right sales guys, right? So here we go. Oops. All right. So this is problem area number 1, and let me okay, this is problem area number 1. If you anything where you are the lowest price, sorry, the lowest perceived value in your area. Now we have a term that we commonly use called truck in a truck. This is when you are perceived in your area
Or Hatman Hank.
or Hatman Hank. You're Hatman Hank, wearing all the hats, you're trucking a truck. You are perceived as the lowest value provider in the area. Usually your vehicles are unmarked. There's no branding on them. You are showing up in a white non-labeled truck, or you have a trailer that's just white, and you're just showing up and you don't have much of a presence online. So when people go to search your business, sometimes they don't even find you. Okay. They go to search. I can't find the business. I heard about them. I can't find them anywhere. I can't find their phone number. Can't find their website. Oh, sometimes it's because they don't even have a website. Okay. So this is problem area number 1, because if you're perceived as low value, and sometimes it doesn't even matter that you're the lowest price, because you're still going to have problems. The conversion rates, if you're low value and lowest price, sometimes you still have trouble selling even though you're the lowest price. And then, of course, if you are perceived as low value and you have high prices, then we have a perception issue. And we'll get into here in a second how to fix that. So, area number 2 that's a problem is when you are perceived as any type of value, but you are the lowest price. Okay. Now, these types of issues are obvious in this column if you are the lowest price, because you have problems with scalability. You become Hat Man Hank. You wear all the hats in your business because you have to, because you don't have the capital to grow the business, because you're consistently the lowest price in your area. So those are the 2 main problem areas. There's also a problem area right here in the very middle, mid-value average price. How many of you said that you're mid-value average price? Colin, can you see that for us? Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
A couple of them. Okay. So the problem with mid-value and average price is there's a scripture, and Colin's better with scriptures than I am, but it's the one where Jesus says, you're lukewarm, so I'm going to spit you out. You're caught in the middle. You're caught up looking like everybody else, and you're perceived as just like everybody else. You're caught up in what we call the sea of sameness. The positioning is you're the middle of the road. The value you provide is middle of the road. And you get stuck there for a really long time, and you usually hit ceilings in the business where for years, and maybe your ceiling is that you're doing 500,000, but you maintain that same amount year after year after year after year because of a positioning problem. Okay. We'll get into what we mean by a positioning problem more here in a second, but let's move on to the okay areas. That's if you have labeled yourself as high value average prices or mid value high prices. And then the best area to be in is right here, high value, high prices. And so we want to transition to being more towards one of the okay areas or one of the best areas. And the way we do it is by becoming the local category king or queen. Okay. So if I have an HVAC business, I want to be viewed as the best in the area. And when I'm viewed as the best, I attract the more affluent buyers. I attract the people that also value quality over price, because there's 2 main types of buyers in this world. There's the one that mainly is worried about quality, and then there's the one that's mainly worried about price. This is worth asking everybody which one you feel like you are currently attracting in your market. One, are you currently attracting the quality buyers, the ones that care about quality more, or are you currently attracting the ones that care about price more? Go ahead and put that in the chat for us.
Let me jump in and give you an example of this. It's pretty regular. I would say probably like once a month, once every other month, that there will be a post in the local community page that says, hey, I'm looking for a new roof, or I'm looking for new gutters. I know that Superior is the best, but I don't think I can afford them. Who else do you guys know that could do my roof or my gutters for me? All right. That does 2 things for us. One, it elevates our status as the premium company. They're the best, but I can't afford them. And 2, so one, it does that. 2, while that customer might not be who we want, there's going to be 6 or 7 other people who read that and are like, oh, Superior's best? Okay, that's who I want to use then. All right? So while that one person might not be a lead, it's going to lead to many other opportunities for us, because people want to use the best. Nobody wants lukewarm, middle, average, whatever. All right?
Perfect. And the interesting part here is from your answers, Everybody's a lot of you. Congratulations to the few of you who are saying I mainly today am attracting quality buyers. Some of you are saying that unfortunately you're stuck attracting the price shoppers. And then a lot of you, surprisingly, are saying both, half and half. I'm stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle equals you're going to hit ceilings in your business, and year after year after year, you're going to not be able to grow past that. Now, how do we effectively, uh, inside of our programs, help you mainly attract the quality buyers and be perceived as a local category king or queen in your area? The best. How do we attract those affluent buyers? How do we attract more of the ones that care about quality? How do we attract the ones where when we reveal the price, and even though it's 50% more than a lot of the competitors in our area, they don't blink an eye and they say, okay, yeah, I was expecting that. And yes, here's the check. How do we do it? It's all about the way we present ourselves. And we do it through a concept called popcorn marketing. So you can also say there's AKA we do guerrilla style marketing. But I like the analogy of popcorn marketing. And if you're not following popcorn marketing, this is one of the reasons why you have a low perception inside of your niche market. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to pull more of the marketing levers. This is how popcorn marketing works. If today the Joneses are driving down the road and they see my yard sign, and then they think to themselves, wait, I've seen that business. Where have I seen that business before? Oh, that's right. They put a door hanger on our door about a month ago. And you know what? I think I just saw them featured in the news. And you know what? I saw their ad the other day on social media. And you know what? I always see their vehicles driving around. These guys are everywhere. And they must be what? Because the Joneses see them everywhere. The Joneses are thinking they must be the best because they're everywhere. The yard signs, the door hangers, the direct mail pieces on social media, saw them in the news. They're driving around everywhere. These are the best ones in the area. And the company that is practicing popcorn marketing, what they understand is that every single additional marketing lever I pull doesn't get less effective, it gets more effective. Okay, this is the big aha moment when it comes to popcorn marketing and becoming a local category king or queen, because it is statistically proven that when I pull the lever for my Google ads, and when I am also concurrently pulling the lever with my yard signs and then my social media ads, and then I'm appearing in the news, and then I'm doing the door hangers, it's statistically proven that each piece of your marketing is amplified by the other pieces of marketing that you are implementing inside of your business. And so, what I'm saying here is this: a Google ad alone, if that's the only marketing lever you're pulling, it will work, but it won't work as well as if you're running those same Google ads and you're pulling multiple other levers at the same time. Because it's the collective perception of people seeing you everywhere, like popcorn. You're appearing everywhere, pop, 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 multiple impressions that attracts the more affluent customers that care more about quality than price and who think to themselves, these guys are the best. I want to buy from them. If you just had an aha moment about the perception of how you're perceived in your market, please let me know in the chat by saying yes.
I want you all to think about that for a second. Think about, okay, Majority of you said high value. Majority of you said you're presenting high value. And I think a lot of us get value and quality mixed up. We think that because we're telling the customer, hey, yeah, I'm gonna use a gutter reference here. We've got a couple gutter guys on. We put hangers this close, and we use thicker gutter, and blah blah blah, and this and that and the other thing, and we use bigger 6-inch gutter. Like, we think that equals higher on the value ladder than when really that's just quality. All right. Now both are important, but that doesn't equal customers viewing us higher in the value sequence. What makes them value us more is our brand, like their awareness of our brand. Not our brand awareness, but their awareness of our brand. Are we everywhere? Do they know, like, and trust us before we even show up? Or when we get there, do we have to get them to know, like, and trust us? So don't get the two confused with the perceived value versus the quality of your job. Don't get those confused. All right? Now, when it comes to pricing, this is all over the place because some of us, I'm going to use another gutter reference. All right? I have gutter guys in my area that sell for $6 a foot. I could still be the high guy at $10 a foot, but we sell at $16.50 a foot. There are guys in my area that sell roofs for $400 a square. I could be the high guy at $550 a square, but we sell most of our roofs at $750 a square. Okay? Now, there are people out there that are selling for way more than me. Now, I'm probably wrong when I said high value, high price. Because while we are high valued based on what I talked about earlier with the Facebook post, there are people higher priced than me. So if I'm being honest with myself in this moment, we were probably high value, mid price. Because I know for a fact there are other roofing companies and gutter companies, leaf filter included, that sell for a lot more than what we do. So just have a real reality check with that. What your perceived value of your company is not necessarily what your customer's perceived value is. Everybody tracking with me on that? Because that's the big aha moment, is that we're involved in our business every day. It's really easy for us to think we're everywhere. It's really easy for us to think, I put out 100-yard signs. This whole community must know who I am. When 100-yard signs is squat, right? So it's really easy for us to build our business up in our own heads until we get around another business that is elevating the whole industry. And that's what we're after, all right? So we're gonna move on from that now, and we're gonna get into how we continue to sell at a higher price and get more leads. And this is kind of a mixture, all right? How many of you have hired a sales rep before? Can you drop that in the comments? How many of you have sales reps right now? Let's see who's got sales reps.
Current sales reps, drop a yes and
Yeah, say yes. Not us. You got Corbin, Jordan.
We got yes, no. What if we have part times? Yes, that works.
Yep.
No.
Okay. All right. So not as many yeses as I was expecting.
About to hire one.
Okay.
So we got a couple more yet.
All right. Most of us though have worked around salespeople, and the number one, like, how do I want to say this? The number one attribute of a sales rep is they don't want to have to do anything but show up and close. Am I right? Like, that is a sales rep. They want to show up and close, and that's it. They don't want to have to do anything, and they want to get paid buco bucks for showing up and being a hardcore closer, right? And that's what they want to do. Well, I've got a term for them, and that term is called a lead baby. All right, you might be a hardcore closer, but you're a lead baby. You do nothing for the business. You don't care about how other people, you don't care about other people in the business. You don't care about making their life easy. You want to show up, write a contract, here you go, boom, production, you figure out the rest. I don't care if I messed up. I got the deal, right? Lead babies are the number one killer of businesses. Who's been around a lead baby before? Who's been around what we call a hardcore closer? The guy or gal who outsells everybody every month, but is the worst coworker. Who's been around that before? I've been around so many of them. Y'all, I sold cars through college, and oh my goodness, it was incredible. But it's so annoying. So what do? How do we fix that problem in our home service business? Because, I mean, let's be honest, it would be really cool to have somebody that shows up and closes 80% of every estimate they go on, right? But is it worth them completely crushing the rest of our business? Absolutely not. So what we've switched to, rather than hiring lead babies and us having to provide all these leads for them, we hire what we call hunters. People who want to have their own business inside of our business. So these people, we'll give them one lead a day. There we go. I'll make sure the transcription stays the same. So we switch to hunters. Now these hunters, they go out, we give them one lead, and they bring us back 2 to 3 every single day. And they do this through a series of different things, but they turn one lead into 3 every single day because we give them the authority to be the face of our business. They get to go out and they go and they become the kings and queens of a neighborhood. Much like we want to be the kings and queens of the trade in our market, we let them be the kings and queens of neighborhoods and areas and whatever. So much so that we'll throw block parties in that area. And it's all them. So Daniel's my sales rep. He loves this neighborhood. We do a couple jobs in that neighborhood. He's like, all right, cool, let's go. We're going to throw a block party here, and I'm going to get everybody there on a Tuesday night or whatever. And he's just the one serving everybody, wearing his company shirt. Everybody's napkin is one of our napkins, and the rest is history. And before you know it, people want to do business with us, right? And they're begging Daniel to come do their jobs. Oh, hey, Daniel, how about you come down to my house? I'd like to do that. And everybody's trying to one-up each other in the neighborhood, and it becomes a really, really fun game. And so they do this through, a series of everything. Door hangers, knocking doors, just being involved in the community. There's direct mail pieces. There's a million things that we do that equal that result. But all of that it turns one lead into 3 every single day for us. Having their logoed car parked in the neighborhood is another huge asset. There's just so many different ways that we do that, and that's what we call our proprietary 3-first system that we teach in all of our programs. So here's the part though that tricks a lot of people. They're like, Colin, I don't know how to do that, and that's okay for 2 reasons. One, we don't believe in just give a man a fish. All right, we believe in teaching a man to fish or a woman to fish. 3-first system. Oh, okay. Getting you. All right. So we believe not in just giving a man a fish, but teaching a man to fish. And so, we're going to teach you how to encourage your reps through all this, but also we're going to teach your reps as well. Yeah, like a learning management system for your sales reps on how to do this 3 for the best way, right? We're going to teach them the psychology behind it, what it can equal for them, how they can earn $100,000 to $500,000 a year by doing this. If they're in the right trade, if it's gutter cleaning, it's going to be pretty hard, but it's doable. There's people out there that do it in window cleaning. So It is doable, but we're going to train them for you. So who here would benefit from sending a sales rep? Who here, we've got a lot of people that don't have a sales rep or about to hire one. What if you only had to send a rep on one lead a day? How many reps could you hire? Drop that in the comments. How many reps could you hire if you only had to give them one lead a day? Let's see it. How many? How many leads are you generating right now? Are you generating 2, 3, 4 a day? Well, that's how many sales reps you could hire. So if you're generating 2 leads a day that you are running, well, shoot, now you can hire 2 reps. And they each get 1 lead and they go and they bring you back 4 more or 6 more. All right. What would that do for your business? Well, remember how we talked about I had money and time. If you don't have the time, why not hire a sales rep and give them that time? That's why we only give them 1 lead. All right. So some magic tricks here. All right. That's the name, the moral of the story, and the name of the game is figuring out how to leverage your employees so that they can make more money, so that the business can make more money, and everybody is happy. All right. Now, there's also a different commission structure and all that fun stuff that really encourages them to get their own leads. But so that's it. That should be an aha moment for you that holy cow, I don't need to be generating 3 or 4 leads a day in order to hire a sales rep for them to make a good living working for me. If I can just give them 1 lead a day, well, shoot, they can go and get 2 more and they can make 6 to 7 figures. Holy cow. Guys, this isn't just like magical unicorn myths, right? This is real proven stuff that we do in my business every day. And I'm not some guru who like did one thing a while back and now I'm teaching everybody about it. Like, I'm building this stuff every single day. This is actively working in my businesses, and we can't build it fast enough. We literally cannot hire reps fast enough because we're generating enough leads. Like, I shouldn't say we can't hire them fast enough. We can hire them, training them up to go out and get the things. Like, it's like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And we're crushing it. It is so much fun. And my sales manager's like, dude, I can't train more people right now. Like, holy cow. Like, yeah, this is awesome. And then we got, like in Michigan, we got to get them licensed in the state in order to sign contracts. So that's a whole process in and of itself where our sales manager has to teach. So whole different debacle. But it's incredible what only having, if we were generating 10 leads a day, we went from having 3 reps to having 10. Just like that. What does 10 reps in company cars do? Y'all, when I got my first company vehicle and wrapped it, you know how many people told me, man, Colin, I see your box trucks everywhere. I had 1 box truck. All right, this was 2016. It was a 1991 E350 box truck. It was an old jalopy. I spray painted all the rust. I literally rolled the box of it with black paint. All right, like it was the oldest looking jalopy. I don't know how people thought there was multiple of them running on the road, but it was a miracle that was 1 ran down the road every day. And people would tell me every single day, I see your trucks everywhere. 1 truck equals trucks everywhere. So if I got 10 sales cars running around every single day, what do you think? This goes back to what Daniel says. No wonder we're perceived high value. We are everywhere. You couple that with the yard signs, with the door hangers, with everything else that we do. Seeing us on social media is all of it. Holy cow. So we've told you guys a few of the little things that we do. But if you pulled all of those 25 levers, we already discussed, it's going to almost 5x all of you guys' businesses. 5x for all of you in here. Holy smokes. What does that look like? Are you prepared for 5x? Maybe not right now. Okay. Well, we gotta ramp this thing up faster then. Let's do it and create the next problem for you. How much of a financial benefit would you see by just being the category king in your area, king or queen? And what would that look like for you? If you were perceived as the highest value and expected to be the highest price, what does that look like? Drop an actual dollar amount. I want to know. If you, for most of you, that's going to look like doubling your prices. If you doubled your prices, how much more money a week would that equal in your business? Seriously, drop that in there. If you double, what would that equal? I'm gonna
While you guys are putting that in the chat, I just wanted to share an aha moment that you gave me, Colin, because I was thinking about the concept, and and hopefully this isn't a derogatory term to your sales reps, but the lead baby concept. When I think of a lead baby, I think of somebody who a sales rep, and they might be just absolute rock star at selling, but they're literally sitting around all day waiting for the next leads to come in. And I've seen sales reps just sit and wait. It's like, okay, oh, there's the lead. Now I'm going to get to work. Now I'm going to sell. But and then usually what happens, and this was my aha moment, a lead baby, okay, yeah, they can make six figures. But what we've been able to build with the 3 for model, where we still give them a lead every day and then teach them to also pull levers and build their business inside of our business, that's what gets them from being able to make like 6 figures to multiple 6 figures, because it finds the hungry hunters that go out and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of my one lead, but I'm gonna go out and slay, and I'm going to bring home even more. And then, of course, they get a higher commission. And that's why they can get to the multiple 6 figures instead of just the maybe just barely hitting 100,000 in a year. So,
right. Awesome. Clark, 1.2 million did 600K in lights last year. That's those of you that don't know Christmas lights, it's like a 2.5 month season. And so in 2.5 months to do $600,000, that's a boatload of freaking money. Let's do it. Let's get that up to 1.2. Thomas, 12 to 15 grand in net profit each week. Let's go, dude. That's huge. It's huge. If we could get you there, that makes so much sense. I mean, what does that do for you? So how many more jobs would you sell if you had one rep for every one lead you're generating now? If you weren't the sales rep, if your reps only got that one lead a day, how much more important is that one lead versus them having 3 or 4 opportunities? They're gonna do the process. They're gonna do every step. They're gonna ask for the sale. They're gonna do all those things that a lazy sales rep isn't gonna do, because next one will be a lay down. This one's too small. Like, I'm not too worried about it. Like, all that disappears when you give them one lead a day and they gotta go get more. They become the hunter, not just hunting more leads, but hunting those jobs. All right, now your biggest problem is you gotta make sure they're being ethical, right? So that's a good problem to have, because I think most of us can put the kibosh on that pretty darn quickly. All right. Um, so here we are. All right. After 2,000 interviews, we've built, we've tested, we've taught, we've seen results inside of our gutter launch community. We're rolling out, you guys heard me briefly mention it already, but we're rolling out what we're calling home service giants. Now, home service giants is developed not just for gutter businesses, not even remotely close. You guys heard me, I've got a handful of different home service businesses, and home service giants is for existing home service businesses, maybe like you, hopefully like most of you. And the goal is that you become the kings and queens of your trade in your market. All right, that's our goal for you. That is like the mission statement behind it, for you to not just be a home service giant, but for you to become a king or queen of your trade in your market. That everywhere you go in a company shirt, somebody says, man, I see you guys everywhere. That's our goal for you. And not just that they see you everywhere, but that your bank account says people see you everywhere too. And that your employees pulling up in their new Ford Ranger, or not Ranger, sorry, Ford Raptor. All right, let's get a little classier here. All right, them pulling up in their new Ford Raptor is something you can smile at and be like, yeah, you know what? I've got employees buying $80,000, $90,000 trucks because I can afford to pay them. Because took I took the risk. I went all in on my business. I started pulling all those marketing levers. I went all in. I did everything I could to give my employees the best life that they could possibly have. That's one of my big missions. I've got, I don't know how many employees now that make six figures. The average median income in my town, in my area, my county, is less than $40,000, y'all. And I've got, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 people that make six figures at my company. That's pretty freaking incredible. That's pretty life changing for most of them. When I got a 19-year-old kid that's gonna make more money than both his parents combined, that's pretty life changing, right? So what is home service giants? Right? What we've talked about a few different things here today. Like, let's just get really clear on what it is, what it isn't. I've partnered with this really awesome company, and we've got a fully done for you CRM now. So the CRM includes all the automations that you need, and they will build out all of your estimate templates, import all your customers, everything like that. It's completely done for you, and we've negotiated some really awesome pricing. So thank you to the Gutter Launch community for being as awesome and big as it is. It gave us a lot of leverage to negotiate and really throw our weight around a little bit. So you all get to reap the benefit as home service giants as well with that. So completely done for you CRM. All 25 marketing levers. Yep, the 12 free ones and the 13 paid ones. And that list just continues to grow, honestly. There are so many more marketing levers out there that are not on here, like billboards and radio and TV, like all those things that I haven't done yet. Nothing on here are things that I have not tried and proven. All right. I would never tell you guys to do something that I have not done first. All right. So all that, the full sales training for you and your reps. All right. A learning management system for them. And our proprietary value stack sales system. Okay. We're going to teach you how to build a value stack within your company. And this is honestly something that we probably should have talked about on this webinar tonight. But yeah, it is huge. It completely changes the game and helps you command that high price and helps your customers even more so see that high value. And then you get small group mentoring with this as well. So think 4 to 6 businesses with a mentor that meet every single week. All right, every single week. And then on top of that, twice a week, I go live and answer all of your questions. You submit them via form, you pop on, and I'm going to read the question. And if Dory's on, hey Dory, I see this question. Can you clarify this really quick for me? I think it means this. Yes, that's what it means, Colin. Okay, great. Boom. Here's my answer. Right. You have direct access to me twice a week. All right. Twice a week. That's just it. Twice a week. And then, of course, access to our twice a year live events. All right. Live events that I've got some friends in ridiculously high places that speak way better than I do, that have learned a lot more cool things than I have. And I will get them on stage and we'll have an absolute blast of a 2 or 3 day long event. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to, we love those. And they go so darn well. Getting a couple hundred people in the same room of all who are in the same program just doesn't get much better than that. So that's what it is. We do have really strict requirements for this though. And Daniel actually didn't know I was going to talk about this, but I've got strict requirements for this because I don't want you guys to book a call and not be, and just immediately be disqualified. So strict requirements, you have to have at least one employee. All right, one employee in your business, and you have to be doing $35,000 per month in revenue in season. All right, so I get it, like for us, or if you do house washing and it's the middle of January, I'm not gonna expect you to be doing $35,000, all right? But if you can prove to us that you did $35,000 in season the prior year, sweet, let's rock and roll, all right? So and the reason we have those requirements is we have a lesser program for smaller businesses, the trucking trucks, the Hatman Hanks, right? But this is meant for people who are looking to become those category kings and queens. All right. And we want people who are really focused on that. And if we have people who are too small thinking, it kind of just brings down the community, right? So really looking to have people that are elevating the entire community. All right. So your next step is literally just to book a call. Daniel, do you have that link? Did I drop that link in here?
Yeah, I can get it in there. Just
Yeah, I'll do it really quick. I've got it. I've already got it pulled up. So I've got the link right here. And it is just a simple form, fill it out. And that will be just a quick 10-15 minute qualifying call. We're gonna ask you questions. It's pretty like interview based, all right? Come with your proof of one employee and 35K a month. But that is what Home Service Giants is. And I'm really, really excited. You guys all on this call get, how do I say it? I don't want to say beta because we've already kind of beta tested it, but you guys will be the inaugural first members. And so you'll get some extra bonuses along with that. And we'll talk about that on our one-on-one call where we go over everything. I interview you a little bit deeper and make sure that we're aligned and can take you where you want to go. So the last thing I want to do is get you into something that your goals and what we can do don't align. So yeah, that's it. That is everything. That is Home Service Giants. Hopefully you guys all walked away with some big aha moments, like getting more leads, like being able to increase your value and increase your pricing, and also just being able to wrap your brain around being the king or queen in your neighborhood and what that looks like. So anybody, I see some messages popping up. Do we have questions? I can't see them. Awesome. Cool. Mark, Dory, thank you both. Thank you everybody else. It was nice meeting some of you. Nice seeing some other familiar faces. Appreciate you guys all being here on my first webinar. Thank you for participating and dropping comments and whatnot. So click that link, apply, and let's get you guys booked on a call, hopefully tomorrow, and the rest can be history. So Dana, you got anything else to close up?
yeah, so you can, if you do have a question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and we can get that answered for you. So we want to answer you guys' questions, and the big thing here is we are needle movers. So lots of times people they try to do one little thing. They're like, I'm gonna make $1 million because I tried this one little thing. And we're against that, actually. We're like, we want to do the really big things that move the needle in a big way. And that's where a lot of these concepts were born, like getting our sales reps to turn one lead into 3. That's a needle mover, right? Like that can triple your business, right? And so we think in really big ways. And then what's really cool with the communities, and with Home Service Giants, everybody working together, we get to all just share each other's stories, and then go from there, and learn what's working in different markets, and learn how we can more effectively move the needle in really, really big ways. So if you are looking to be a giant, if you're feeling kind of small in your area, and you want to, grow to be that category king or queen, then we're excited to jump on a call with you, and accept you into the community. So
Right. Awesome. Well, cool. Doesn't look like anybody unmuted. So Daniel, that means that we covered everything perfectly.
yeah, I don't know about that.
But awesome. Well, sweet. Thank you all so much. It's been an honor. Spending almost exactly an hour and a half. We did that pretty darn perfectly. So, thank you all so much. It's been an honor, and I can't wait to watch this back and figure out how I can get better at doing this next time. So,
And just verbally, because when the chat disappears, the chat disappears. So it's homeservicegiants.com/APP for application.
we'll
That's short
probably
for
we could
application.
probably we could probably email and text that out to everybody who came, everybody who registered.
Yes. Yes.
So, yep.
There you go.
All right, there we go. Awesome. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. God bless. Win bigly so that you can give bigly, y'all.